Then Jehovah said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the heart of his servants, that I may show these signs of mine in the midst of them, and that you may recount in the hearing of your son and your grandson how I made a mockery of Egypt, and recount my signs which I have done among them, that you may know that I am Jehovah." And Moses and Aaron came to Pharaoh and said to him, "Thus says Jehovah, the God of the Hebrews, how long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go that they may serve me. For if you refuse to let my people go, then tomorrow I am going to bring swarming locusts into your territory, and they will cover the surface of the land so that no one will be able to see the land. And they will eat the rest of what has escaped, what is left to you from the hail, and will eat up every tree of yours that is sprouting in the field. And your houses will be filled with them, as well as the houses of all your servants and the houses of all the Egyptians, something that neither your fathers nor your fathers' fathers have seen since the day that they came upon the earth until this day." Then he returned and went out from Pharaoh. And Pharaoh's servants said to him, "How long shall this man be a snare to us? Let the men go that they may serve Jehovah their God. Do you not yet realize that Egypt is destroyed?" So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh, and he said to them, "Go, serve Jehovah your God. But who exactly are going?" And Moses said, "We will go with our young and with our old. We will go with our sons and with our daughters, with our flocks and with our herds, for we must hold Jehovah's feast." And he said to them, "Let Jehovah indeed be with you. If I ever let you go with your little ones as well, see here, you are up to some evil. No, go now, but the men only, and serve Jehovah, since that is what you are requesting." And they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. Then Jehovah said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the land of Egypt for the swarming locusts, that they may come up upon the land of Egypt, and eat all the vegetation of the land, all that the hail has left." So Moses stretched forth his staff over the land of Egypt, and Jehovah drove an east wind upon the land all that day and all night. When it was morning, the east wind had brought the swarming locusts, and the swarming locusts went up over all the land of Egypt and settled in all the territory of Egypt in great mass. Before them there had never been so many swarming locusts as they, nor after them will there ever be so many. And they covered the surface of the whole land, so that the land was darkened, and they ate all the vegetation of the land and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left. And nothing green remained on the trees or among the vegetation of the field throughout all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh hurriedly called for Moses and Aaron and said, "I have sinned against Jehovah your God and against you. Now therefore, please forgive my sin just this once, and entreat Jehovah your God that he would only remove this death from me." And he went out from Pharaoh and entreated Jehovah. And Jehovah changed the wind into a very strong west wind, and it took up the swarming locusts and drove them into the Red Sea. Not one locust was left in all the territory of Egypt. But Jehovah hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the children of Israel go. Then Jehovah said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even a darkness that could be felt." So Moses stretched out his hand toward heaven, and there was thick darkness throughout all the land of Egypt for 3 days. They could not see one another, nor did anyone rise up from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. And Pharaoh called Moses and said, Go serve Jehovah. Only let your flocks and your herds be detained. Your little ones may also go with you. And Moses said, You must also let us have sacrifices and burnt offerings, so that we may sacrifice to Jehovah our God. So our cattle also must go with us. Not a hoof must be left behind, for we must take some of them to serve Jehovah our God. And we do not know with what we must serve Jehovah until we go there. But Jehovah hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he was not willing to let them go. And Pharaoh said to him, Get away from me. Be sure that you do not see my face again. For on the day you see my face, you shall die. And Moses said, You have spoken correctly. I will never again see your face. Then Jehovah said to Moses, One more plague will I bring upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. After that, he will let you go from here. When he lets you go, he will surely drive you out from here completely. Speak now in the hearing of the people that each man is to ask of his neighbor and each woman of her neighbor for articles of silver and articles of gold. And Jehovah gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants, and in the sight of the people. And Moses said, Thus says Jehovah, about midnight I will go out into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits upon his throne, to the firstborn of the female slave who is behind the millstones, and all the firstborn of cattle. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as has not been or ever will be again. But a dog shall not bark at any of the children of Israel, at man or beast, that you may know that Jehovah makes a distinction between the Egyptians and Israel. And all these servants of yours shall come down to me and bow down to me, saying, Get out, you and all the people who follow you, and after that I will go out. And he went out from Pharaoh in hot anger. Then Jehovah said to Moses, Pharaoh will not listen to you, in order that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt. Thus Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, but Jehovah hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the children of Israel go out of his land. Then Jehovah spoke to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, This month will be the beginning of months for you. It shall be the first of the months of the year to you. Speak to all the assembly of Israel, saying, On the 10th of this month, each man shall take a lamb according to his father's house, a lamb for a household. And if the household is too small for a lamb, then he and his neighbor next to his house shall take one according to the number of the persons in the houses. According to each man's eating, you shall make your count for the lamb. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a year-old male. You may take it from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall keep it until the 14th day of this month. Then the whole congregation of the assembly of Israel shall kill it at twilight. And they shall take some of the blood and put it on the 2 doorposts and on the lintel of the houses in which they eat it. And they shall eat the flesh in that night roasted with fire. And they shall eat it with unleavened bread, with bitter herbs. Do not eat any of it raw or boiled at all with water, but roasted with fire, its head with its legs and with its inward parts. And you shall not let any of it remain until the morning, but any of it that remains until the morning you shall burn with fire. And this is how you shall eat it. with your loins girded, your sandals on your feet, and your staff in your hand, and ye shall eat it in haste. It is Jehovah's Passover. For I will pass through the land of Egypt on that night, and I will strike all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast. Also against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgments. I am Jehovah. And the blood shall be a sign for you upon the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you. And there will be no plague upon you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. And this day will be a memorial to you, and you shall keep it as a feast to Jehovah. Throughout your generations, as a perpetual statute, you shall keep it as a feast. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread. On the first day you shall remove leaven out of your houses. For whoever eats anything leavened from the first day until the 7th day, that person shall be cut off from Israel. And on the first day you shall have a holy convocation. And on the 7th day, a holy convocation. No work at all shall be done on them, except to prepare what every person will eat, that alone may be done by you. And you shall keep the feast of unleavened bread, for on this very day I have brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore you shall keep this day throughout your generations as a perpetual statute. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, in the evening, you shall eat unleavened bread until the 21st day of the month in the evening. For 7 days no leaven shall be found in your houses, for whoever eats what is leavened, that person shall be cut off from the assembly of Israel, whether a sojourner or a native of the land. You shall eat nothing leavened. In all your dwelling places you shall eat unleavened bread. Then Moses called for all the elders of Israel, and said to them, Draw out and take lambs according to your families, and slaughter the Passover. And you shall take a bunch of hyssop and dip it in the blood that is in the basin. And you shall apply some of the blood that is in the basin to the lintel and to the 2 doorposts, and none of you shall go outside the entrance of his house until the morning. For Jehovah will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he sees the blood upon the lintel and on the 2 doorposts, Jehovah will pass over the entrance and will not allow the destroyer to come into your houses to smite you. And you shall observe this matter as a statute for you and for your sons in perpetuity. And when you come to the land which Jehovah will give you, as he has promised, you shall observe this service. And when your children say to you, What do you mean by this service? You shall say, It is the Passover sacrifice to Jehovah, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses. And the people bowed and worshipped. And the children of Israel went and did so. Just as Jehovah had commanded Moses and Aaron, so they did. And at midnight Jehovah struck all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, who sat on his throne, to the firstborn of the captive, who was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. And Pharaoh arose in the night, he and all his servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was no house where there was not someone dead. And he called for Moses and Aaron in the night and said, Rise up, go out from the midst of my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go. Serve Jehovah as you have said. Take both your flocks and your herds, as you have said, and go and bless me also. And the Egyptians urged the people on, so as to hasten their departure out of the land, for they said, All of us will be dead. And the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading bowls being bound up in their clothes upon their shoulders. And the children of Israel did according to the word of Moses. And they asked the Egyptians for articles of silver and gold and for clothing. And Jehovah gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so that they let them have what they asked. Thus they plundered the Egyptians. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot, besides children. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, as well as flocks and herds, a very large number of livestock. And they baked the dough which they brought out of Egypt into unleavened cakes, for it had not been leavened, because they were driven out of Egypt and could not delay, nor had they prepared for themselves any provisions. Now the time of the sojourning of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. And at the end of 430 years, on that very day, all the armies of Jehovah went out from the land of Egypt. It was for Jehovah a night of watching, to bring them out from the land of Egypt. That some night is a night of watching to Jehovah for all the children of Israel throughout their generations. Or that same night is a night of watching to Jehovah for all the children of Israel throughout their generations. And Jehovah said to Moses and Aaron, "This is the statute of the Passover. No foreigner shall eat of it. However, any man's servant who is bought with money, when you have circumcised him, then he shall eat of it. A sojourner and a hired servant shall not eat of it. It shall be eaten in one house. You shall not take any of the flesh outside the house, nor shall you break any of its bones. All the assembly of Israel shall keep it. But if a stranger sojourns with you and will observe the Passover to Jehovah, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near to observe it, and he will be like one who is a native of the land, but no uncircumcised person shall eat of it. One law shall be for the native and for the stranger who sojourns among you." And all the children of Israel did so, just as Jehovah commanded Moses and Aaron, so they did. And on that very day, Jehovah brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt by their armies.